And it had bring some more problem than it had solved some. And let's say that in Christianity, these rules didn't came from Jesus himself. It's Paul, Saint Paul, with his letters to Corinthians and Ephesians that started this rumors about we should be like this, and don't look at the other woman, don't look at other men, and be like separate from your instinct and start to dig for virtue. That means cut yourself from every need you have inside. How are you going to do this as God created you like a mammal? So how are you supposed to stop this? And that means it's so pretentious, because it's starting to tell you like you should be more empowered than God itself, that you change the way he created you and start to be like something else because you decided. And in the name of Jesus, while he didn't never ever said something like this, he said more than this, and way more, in a deeper way. He really meant what he said, but what he meant was about the heart, and it was logical. For he said, if you even look at other women, you already betrayed your wife. That is so true. Not because you have sexual intercourse or something in your life with other persons. It's not about that. It means when you find the one you love, if your heart for 1 second stop looking at this person, it's not you are even betraying your own soul. You're betraying your own self. That is what he meant. And that is almost impossible. For when you find the one you love, you don't even, you cannot look even it's not that you cannot look with your eyes at other women or other men. It's not even that you cannot speak to them or have something like affection. It's more like you cannot have this real feeling for them, because this real feeling is belonging to a person. And even if you want to change that, you can't, because that is God's will creation. As we created one for another, a man and a woman. Now, are they supposed to find each other in this life? This is possible. There is some people that find their soulmate and they are happy. But the problem is not there. The problem is that our generation have everything to solve about this problem. That is therefore 300 years before GC, and this is very, very, very deep into human consciousness. And it's the repression of instinct is dangerous. As we saw it can bring some human to commit some crime, sexual crime, because their instinct is repressed, and it plunged them into a dark unconsciousness, torments, and stuff that can make them go crazy. There is some people that we call eunuch. It is possible. They are biologically different. They have less hormones. sexual hormones flowing into their blood. They're more intellectual, less physical, and this is also like we see in every species. There's always this kind of embodied that is less physical, like I say, maybe more intellectual, and so they're gonna be, but still they still have, I mean, let's not be blind about this, even those eunuch that are made difference from most, they still have for sure sexual instincts, because this is life. This is how life goes. Without sex, there would be no more humanity. Let's start with this point. So how do you think that repressing this first life gaze of energy inside of us would bring us? It would be bringing us to what we see called sexual crime, people committing disgusting things with this, and also all this confusion that come with those first couple that had to go through divorce when it was so new. I mean, not so far from here, I mean maybe 30 years from now, the first people that agree that this is not real. Are we going to stay in a marriage fighting and being unhappy for a religion that tells us that this is the right way? No. And they started to listen to themselves and find out that this was silly. It was a beautiful dream, but it was not coming true. And wow, what a deception when you find out, oh my God, I didn't been choosing the right person for making my life with. Deception and then confusion, because there is not so much approbation about this. There was not so much approbation in the society about this, and they had to go through this. And now comes our generation where we are exploring. Many of us have sexual partners, have friends, have boyfriends and girlfriends, and we try to make the difference in all those different relations, and try to understand, because we still have this need for real love, as we are also spirit called to become complete human, and we want to look and find a real love. And many times we can struggle and think this is the one, this is the right one, but suddenly we have to admit and go to the point where we see this is not it. And thanks for our parents and grandparents, maybe more parents, but those who came before us and break marriage and wedding and said this is stupid. Now we are at this point where we have to solve all this mess about relations. Like I said, it was probably coming from a logic point of view when they first made that rule, saying, okay, well, there's too much mouth to feed. If everybody sleep with everybody, oh my gosh, the number of children is rising, and then the tribe is striving to have enough food for everyone. So let's make a rule, 1 man for 1 woman, and then less children, and maybe we will, and also who is taking care of who and all this, It was probably like that it happened. It was logical. Now this is logical that in a point where we are not making even 1.2 or 3 1.3 kids by person on the planet, or our North America right now, it is not logical anymore. And it is really not logical, as we saw what it can derive for some problems.